Hey everyone, this is Dr. Ezra with Integrative Kidney Institute. And in this new series, I'm going to be talking to you every month about new studies that came out in the field of integrative and functional medicine in relation to kidney health. We have been publishing these on a regular basis, on a monthly basis, actually, for the past 2 years in our newsletters and a blog. But we thought that we make them in these short videos that will be easy for you to review and easy to understand. So let's do this. But before we begin, make sure you press the subscribe button and the notification button so that YouTube notifies you when a new video comes out on our channel. All right, so this is the first in the series. And as you know, we comb through multiple medical journals to look for the latest research in integrative and functional medicine and integrative approach to kidney health. And we know that your time is valuable. So we curate those studies and summarize them for you in an easy to understand way. So the first study is actually another coffee study, but this one actually makes sense. So we know that caffeine is metabolized by cytochrome P451A2, and this enzyme actually is coded in a gene, and genetic variation in this enzyme impact the rate of caffeine clearance. So some people are fast metabolizers while others are slow metabolizers. And this way, when you pull all patients together or all individuals together to make a research study, you may end up with different results depending on the study and depending on your population. And sometimes you end up with contradictory results. But this study was published in the JAMA network this past month, and they followed 604 patients for 7.5 years. These are untreated adults with stage 1 hypertension. Basically, they have pre-hypertension. And the study was actually a subgroup of a study of the hypertension and ambulatory recording in the Venetia study. And they found that genetic variants that lead to have the individual to be a slow metabolizer of caffeine, when these people drink a lot of coffee, which they define it by more than 3 cups a day, these people end up with increased risk of developing protein in the urine, increased risk of hyperfiltration, which is one of the things that happen in early kidney damage, and also increase the risk of hypertension. But people who are fast metabolizers did not have any effect, whether they drink little amount of coffee or a lot of coffee. So when your patient asks you if caffeine is good for kidney health or not, the answer, it really depends on your gene. The second study is what I call a mind-body connection in CKD. So here, this one is published in Kidney 360, and investigators analyzed the data from more than 2,000 individuals from the CRIC study, and they looked at those who have mild to moderate kidney disease, and they looked at the link between depression and chronic kidney disease. And they used something called the Beck Depression Inventory. And I'll put a link for you to a website where you can download the Beck Depression Inventory to use with your patient if you want. I'll put it below here. So they stratified the patient into 3 groups: those with low BDI score, those with moderate BDI score, and those with high BDI score. So the people who obviously have a high BDI score are more depressed. And what they found that people who have moderate to high BDI score are likely to be associated with rapid decline in kidney function as defined by estimated GFR. And they also found that low educational attainment, cigarette smoking, and quality of life or poor quality of life is associated with higher rate of depression, obviously, which, it's easy to understand. And that links to faster progression of kidney disease. And the third study is actually a review published in Current Opinion in Nephrology and Hypertension. And here investigators looked into the link between inflammation and hypertension, and how inflammation can lead to end organ damage in hypertension. So there was a lot of technical information here, but they mainly talked about how immunomodulatory intervention can improve outcome in patient with hypertension, regardless of the arterial pressure number. And they found that this is especially true for interleukin IL-1 beta, IL-6, and IL-17. They also saw that other inflammatory marker like integrin and matrix metalloproteinase 2, if they get modulated, they can enhance the nitric oxide production and decrease endothelial inflammation. So a lot of technical information, and this is a study that is actually, this field is actually in its infancy. But how do you use that in practice? So really what I would recommend is that we assess inflammation in the patient with hypertension. And we can do that simply by looking at something called neutrophil to lymphocyte ratio, which is something that you can easily look at from regular CBC. You can also, if you want to go further, you can measure IL-6 in your patient, and this can be measured with advanced labs. And then you want to help your patient decrease inflammation by eating more anti-inflammatory food, exercising, getting proper dental care, and managing stress. And you can also increase nitric oxide with a diet that is rich in vegetables and antioxidants, and also even supplements such as L-arginine and L-citrulline. So I hope you like this video. If you like it, make sure you follow us on Instagram at Integrative Kidney, on Facebook at InKidney, and we're always on www.inkidney.com.